Slide. Rock slide. Wait, the leech seed goes on the Aerodactyl? That don't seem right. Is that right? Oh, you did have it. Last turn of Sand, last turn of Tailwind, protect out the fake out. That's a pretty. I don't think he has a sweet move. Got one more tick of burn. We're both faster. GG's. We're stalling four different effects: fake out, sand, tailwind, burn. He's most likely gonna be doing coverage and hitting in both slots while the tailwind's out. Yeah. That's just very straightforward. Nothing special. Goes for the throat chop. I mean, that makes sense, right? Why would you do a fake out? Is that normal? Are you supposed to leech seed? And then the burn kills it? Is that how it... That's how it works? It goes into the slot? Man. Playing against until that's... Oh, it's the person that needs to swap out, huh? Dude. Nice. Playing against the Skull Villain is so annoying. Between the Leech Seed and the burn, what? You just slowly die? Hell, throwing some rocks on the floor and punish them for switching out at a point. Floor spikes. Alright, looks like DSG is starting their game against the bastards of the LCS, Cloud9. We've been looking rough, guys. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. But I'm hoping the boys get it together today. I believe. Cloud9's really good, though. Ooh, I'm a little scared.
Pairs seem more entrenched than ever when I see drafts on this patch.
Yeah, okay, so we've got the Xin Zhao and the Azir being the mismatched role picks so far here in the first half, while both sides absolutely have their bottom lane duos drafted. So I expect the second half of the bans to kind of reflect that, and sure enough, it does. It's mid lane bans from Disguised, as Ryze will be the first target for them. C9 going to go ahead, take that Nocturne off the table, keep that away from Cryra.
But I think what's really interesting here is because the Jarvan and Pantheon were already banned, looked to me like C9 was going to try and pinch the AD jungle pool, but didn't.
Someone
at the
tell
last
me
minute. Our
bands are good. Our band's good.
If they want to choose that, even though it's more of a side lane.
Azir, why do we always
champion and C9's going to want to team fight? I'm a little surprised that they actually banned
I mean, to be fair, I feel like I see
this late in the draft rather than just pinching out the rest of the AP.
Like, here's what's going to happen.
So we'll see what they end up
Call Me's gonna go for a shuffle. It's a good shuffle, and then they flash it, which is fine. And then we don't go for anything between the flash. So getting that shuffle flash ends up doing nothing.
Having Yorick constantly marching down the side lane can be a real pain.
So I need to see the shuffle
for their mid lane.
Yeah,
and then I need to see a regank before the flash up. Ooh, Cryra's Mundo.
Many kind of comfort picks that previously was considered off meta is now somewhat of a response.
Okay, here's what we can do instead. Let's have Nautilus press R, and as they're being knocked up, we go for the shuffle.
Meta, like slightly wonky, pocket picks. But we do see the Jace locked in instead initially, and now hovering the Volibear.
Well, Jace, remember, we do still have the possibility for him to be flexed to the jungle these days as well, so not 100% certain that that'll be going into the top lane, although I would expect it to most likely be going there. Last pick here. Disguise taking their sweet time, running down the clock on this one.
Mundo makes a decent amount of sense. I will point out the reason C9 didn't ban Vi would have been scouting. Cryra is 0-4 all-time on Vi, so they're probably daring him to pick it, and that's why they're able to open up the Rumble ban.
And another thing interesting about Mundo is Cryra was one of the junglers that I was thinking when the Mundo nerfs came down. I was like, okay, he is one of those junglers I feel like
they nerfed my boy?
pilot the Mundo, DSG occasionally rely on this kind of scaling, so it's not, we'll see how significant it is. We've still seen Mundo played, so it's like, I still think there's a lot of value in it. It does hurt his clear a slight bit if you look at some of the nerfs that came down. And then Sion locked in as the last pick for C9, which kind of puts together this really nice team fighting comp, kind of propelled with this Ashe Seraphine.
It does, and they're going to have to be able to
Okay,
find
Castle's Jace is pretty good.
I do find it funny how
Cryo's
this
Mundo's
game
pretty
they're throwing
good.
Sion in the top lane where
So
they
we got
played
2
Sion
guys on
in
their
game
comfort
3
pick.
mid lane last year, and APA said,
Thanatos is
every
on
time we let
Sion.
Thanatos play
True.
Sion because then I can't collect the free win on the mid Sion. But clearly he's not on the same page as everybody else. They like the look here with the Sion into the MF and specifically the Jace because he can get early armor against a Mundo who's not going to be a huge gank threat. So makes sense for the top lane in this game.
Plus, I always like when you have Seraphine on your team, if you have multiple frontliners that can facilitate the encore going further, blasting through the entirety of the enemy squad, and I think Sion and Zinja are great champions to facilitate that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you think in the mid game that Sion and Zin are difficult to kill? Well, wait until they have a Seraphine behind them, buffing them up, and like you said, using that extra range to get
Kryra, come on.
a really good Seraphine ult off.
All right, let's do it. Getting on to Summoner's
see
Rift
some
for the
jungle
first time
diffing.
today. Best of 3, C9 versus Disguised. And I think that this Ashe Seraphine combo has proven time and time again just how effective it is, just how oppressive it can be. So there is going to be pressure on Sajet and Lions to try to find something here with this Nautilus pick that's meant to be able to punish it, meant to be able to all in.
Absolutely. It's also Vulcan's
Why'd they
first
call me
career
say
Seraphine game, but it's only a matter of
GLAPA
time with the Enchanter
specifically?
meta and Vulcan preparing
That seems
for
targeted.
the future. Friendly chat, I think that's more of a checking to see if all chat is on and whether or not he should waste
Oh,
it.
big hook, big damage. Oh, barrier gone, barrier gone. We win, GG's.
So coming into this matchup, I think one of the most important things to look at is the jungle in particular, right? You're looking
Why
at
do we
Blabber being
ward
one
the
of these
small
all-time
nearby
great
bush
North
instead of the
American
middle
junglers,
bush?
And you're looking at Kryra.
Oh, big hook, big hook.
Guy
We win,
who's really gotta
GG's, we
prove
win.
himself now. So we've got the blasting cycle that has occurred so far here in the LCS. Remember that Blabber blasted Griffin when they played in all of those series back-to-back, like going head-to-head back in first stand in split 1, but then Griffin just last weekend blasted Kryra, right? Like just completely took over the series, took him out of the game, took all his Raptors. So now the question is, where does the blasting one aim from here? Can Kryra turn this into a Pokemon type of situation where each one counters one of the others in a circle? Or is this just going to be a line straight from Blabber through everybody else in a massive wake of destruction?
Yeah, circle of blasting or like a blast
Bot
higher.
lane's gonna be rough.
Trickle
How
down
come
blastonomics.
bot lane's
There
never
will be
good, guys?
blastonomics, but
Why
we
is
don't
bot
know
lane
how
always
they're
the
going
rough
to
part?
function in this economy.
Well, thus far, there's been no
Why does
crazy
my
one
MF have
shenanigans,
7
right?
CS?
Like, we didn't have any
Why
sort
is
of
she down
in-game.
7 CS?
Blabber does have something that Kryra
Why is my
doesn't
mid
in
lane
this
down
game,
6 CS?
Which is Ashe Vision, the
True.
bane
So strong.
of the bane of all like early junglers who have to go up against a team with an Ashe on it. And as we see that bot lane 2v2 just kind of firmly pushing in
Oh, wow.
on the bot side.
They got played gold already?
And both junglers just doing their top-down clears.
Yeah, the big wave crashed, so the CS is starting to equalize a little bit. There's only a 2 CS lead for Vulcan's Ven so far, but typically when you have the ranged support versus the melee support, unless you are getting that first kill or that first gank off, the Ashe Seraphine should be able to bully pretty hard. So we'll see what happens here with the first crab, because Kryra is in river quite early, and Blabber is approaching, so trying to get a gank off here.
All right, APA's under pressure. Kryra coming in, trying to punish some of that all-chatting so far. Immediately pops the heart stopper, but still takes a lot of damage from APA, who's down to 100 HP, flashes back out as Call Me proceeds
What?
to chase, flash auto attack! Call Me shuts him up and sits him down. The Azir, however, about to get punished now as Blabber swoops into the mid lane. Flash for the win becomes lightning, guarantees the counter kill. Kryra can at least secure this topside scuttle crab and get away.
So really interesting there. It was very greedy from APA, but I feel like that was him and Blabber trying to pull off something impressive because he knew he could get a ton of damage down onto the Mundo, and then Blabber probably thought he had a double crab angle right there, but APA gets a little bit
that's
too
not
greedy,
positive for
ends
us,
up taking
right?
too much damage and dies,
First
but
blood
Blabber
and
comes in
preserve
to
one
secure
flash.
the cleanup kill.
Yeah, as we
So it's
see,
a slight
Kryra
above-
definitely
yeah.
saw his window, and Blabber's all the way down in the river.
I don't get
Vulcan
this
is
one,
already
though.
headed up, and APA gets so much damage here thinks he'll be able to flash out.
Call Me almost sidestepped the
Call
W
Me
here.
finishes him up, and then Blabber's here to clean up the kill onto Call Me.
That was like a pixel off.
Clara does end up getting that
I think if he
double grab,
sidesteps
and
that,
Blabber got the
that
bottom
would have
one
been
too,
huge.
So they still
but
did split
still
frags
pretty good.
off of that.
Ends
Still
up
above
being
positive.
pretty good for Kryra, all things considered,
Well,
because
I think what AP was trying to do was
get his mid lane a little
to.
bit ahead and also burned the flash.
I don't know.
APA.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
not much ends up coming of what was a pretty crazy looking play.
I don't know.
Also like burning the
Maybe
flash
stalling it out
Cassiopeia,
for a
considering
trade.
the
Like
mid
at
laners
best,
are about
the best case
1
scenario there
to
was a
level
trade.
6, and we know that once Azir hits
Right.
level 6, if the
And
jungler shows
you know,
up
to
and
be
the
fair, they
enemy
did get a
mid laner
trade,
does
but
not have
maybe they were
mobility to
hoping,
get out
okay,
after he's
he
already
lives and
shuffled,
stalled
all
just
Call
long
Me has
enough
do
for
is just
Blabber
find
to
that
come
angle
in
for
and
the
double.
shuffle, and boom, you've got another easy kill.
Yeah, and it'll be curious to see whether either jungler is going to pay attention to these mid laners here because they are now both
Oh my
flashless.
god, the damage is kind of crazy.
Call Me forced back a little bit here. Does have to be careful about that consistent APA damage, but both junglers once again looking towards the mid lane. Going to find one another here in the river. Blabber immediately jumps towards Kryra, but not getting a whole lot of value out of that one.
Ooh,
just
man,
again
this
trying to make
mid
sure that
jungle
Blabber
is
cannot
so
interfere with anything here.
volatile
Call
right
Me
now.
just a minute or two away
Kryra,
from
get the hell out of the river. Go
Surely
do your
APA
camp. Damn.
recognizes that by looking at his own EXP bar. Has to be careful here about the potential Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, APA wants to bluff a little bit because if Blabber stuck around, then the Xin would also be pretty strong in the 2v2. But
I
Blabber's
think he's
his way
hoping
to
that he'll
continue
walk
clearing
up
as
5
Fallen
steps
trades
for
pretty
the
aggressively.
shuffle.
Yeah, Lions forced to use the heal there. Very low on the Nautilus. Has to flash away, and Sven's ready to flash follow. 2 more auto attacks with a focus fire. Just take him down here with the 2v2. The Ashe Seraphine doing exactly as they please down here. Sven,
what my bot lane doing?
Disguised here in the bottom lane.
What are you
Sven
guys
Vulcan cannot be underestimated.
What are
Sven
you
just
guys
gliding on him
doing?
right there. Perfect aggression from Vulcan Sven in the 2v2. Even the half step back to avoid the damage from the Nautilus E ends up being really crucial in that extended trade, because if he takes any little tick of damage, it would be a trade back instead of now 2 kills to 0 in the 2v2.
Yeah, and this should give them really, really nice bot side control, despite the fact that Lions and Kryra are now kind of hanging out, potentially stopping any sort of Drake take since C9 did have to reset.
Yeah, so they're trying to get a little bit of tempo back.
That's all right, that's
Even
all right.
this
It's
is
just one bad
Kryra's level 6,
exchange, it's
and then
fine.
he can't stick around for that long because I don't feel like DSG is strong enough to just go for clearing, and Kryra's trying to swoop, gets it.
Okay, nice job there from Call Me, setting up APA. Kryra needs more damage here with the play, though. One more auto attack might be able to do it.
There we
And
go.
you go.
Okay.
That's what I
Bot
said
lane,
earlier.
I don't,
Cassiopeia, no flash,
bot lane
punished
just
with
do this
zero
thing. I
ult.
don't.
Yeah, and really good
I don't-
recognition
I
of
can't.
that
Don't
small
get me
window
started on
that
bot
Jet set
lane.
up, right? Like they had
Don't
to
get me started on
reset
bot lane sometimes.
after the bot lane kills came out. DSG kind of hung around.
We gotta
tried to
believe in
establish,
the
got
mid
that
and the
scuttle
jungle.
crab down, and then took advantage of that. But here is that bot lane 2v2, like you said, Jeff.
Like,
Yeah,
we're just
notice the hawk
saving
shot
our
early in the
flash
bush to get the original
forever.
vision, then the ward for the extra vision, and then extending the trade right here. So Jet just loses vision until Sven decides to hit him back one more time. Even with the health potion running, Sajed doesn't have the health to get that last
The
one.
level up was crazy though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and here's just the shuffle, flashless mid laner. APA does end up getting his ultimate off, but Kryra is still able to clean him up off of that. So just really nice recognition of the timing windows,
20
seeing
CS.
that DSG do have an opportunity to get something back and punish that flashless mid laner.
Yeah, that was the one place where they could really go on the map. So APA does need to play more conservative in those situations. The Scion is completely safe, already with the plated steel caps up against the Jace.
What?
And
Why
honestly,
the
bottom
mid
lane has a
laners
25
chatting?
CS advantage, and it's so difficult for Mundo to rescue that bot lane. So Calmy's absolutely right to talk his trash, because APA's killing him is their only current plan in the early game.
Well, and Call Me can just kind of become monstrous alongside this Mundo for mid to late, right? Like he is kind of has become kind of their win condition and potentially an answer to winning some of these mid to late game team fights, depending on how well he does. I am glad that we had the little checking out. Do we have all chat on? Now we're going to talk a little trash back and forth.
Okay, so right now, Blabber, you can see he's starting up his first Drake 8 minutes into the game, so not particularly fast on that one, but look at the gold spread on the scoreboard. It's about over a 2,000 gold lead just in the bottom lane duos of C9, while the top side of the map goes the other way for Disguised. So C9, playing around anything on this bottom side is going to feel great. Sven and Vulcan are so accelerated. Blabber knows he should be able to take this no problem.
They have them completely jailed in that bot lane right now, and part of it is because of the Mundo pick, because if you're going to be taking the Nautilus MF into Ashe Seraphine, that's already a hard matchup, but it will be able to win in 3v3s. It's just Mundo's never
Check
gonna have
the
the
bush!
and now they're getting punished.
How about a 3v2 as immediately Blabber is ready to set this up. There's the encore over the top through everybody like I was talking about back in Champ Select. Blabber just makes it so easy for Sven and Vulcan, and Disguised bottom lane is just crumbling to pieces.
And I love this out of C9, following the Drake take, recognizing that they can apply pressure. The bot lane's going to be coming back to lane, grouping up with Blabber and being able to get that kill en route as DSG were trying to reset.
Definitely had some conversations about whether or not enchanters are overplayed, because in the past right now, even after the first double kill, when that MF Nautilus respawn, they're running top lane and the Jace is running bot lane, and they're trying to reset the map a little bit. But once you lose control of bot lane now, that kind of stuff can just happen to you. They can't contest Drake, they're jailed under their turret, you can't even contest your own Gromp, and they can just dive you on your way back to the lane. They make a bad situation worse, and there's no escape because these teams don't want to leave their role quests uncompleted.
Yeah, and as we see Cryer taking those grubs as kind of like the little consolation prize that they usually are, but that is where I do want to draw attention to specifically the mid lane, right? Because again, this now becomes their win condition. Can we get this Azir into a situation where he can potentially maybe be in a position to rip through late game team fights? It's still going to be difficult because again, you are going against Ashe, Seraphine, and then a Sion, Xin Zhao, who are all going to be incredibly difficult to kill.
And you mentioned the Sion. We haven't really checked in on top lane because really nothing has happened there.
He just landed a Q flowers.
Yeah, they both queued each other. So far, top lane is pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be. Jace is up a wave or two of minions. It's not really that much. Call Me, though, taking a lot of damage from APA's Twin Fangs here. As soon as you're caught on that miasma, the slow just makes it so Cassio can land so much damage. APA still down just about
it's so hard for us to play a lot of these games. Because our bot lane, yeah, I mean, this is what happens, right? The bot lane gets so far behind, it starts spreading to the jungle, it starts spreading to every other lane. Oh my god, Azir missed this out.
But now the damage back into Call Me is there. Vulcan takes the kill, and Disguised have to complete their retreat outside of the jungle. C9
like, it just gets blown up because of bot lane.
Now hold on, Blabber, this time he's getting hooked in. The big bullet time over the top, and it doesn't do enough damage. Sajed is dead. Blabber's on a killing spree. And Sven's looking for even more. Nothing they do works. Disguise dies yet again.
I guess C9 just wins 3 versus 4. That's just the game right now. Absolutely crazy here. You thought when Blabber goes over this wall and Call Me with Nasher's Tooth Power Spike flies in behind, they're going to win. We'll say nice stun into flash by Sven so he doesn't take damage from the Azir, and everyone just turns to focus. Very well played 3v4, which is usually a disaster by C9 because they switch targets so effectively.
Yeah, and then when they do try to follow up with the MF ult here, immediately are able to turn on to Sajed, and everything really, really falls apart for DSG now because...
Hey, nice guys. Really good. Going to base now?
Clean.
Because they're going to base now. And now they're going to rotate it somewhere else all over the map. Thanatos. Oh, no. Sajed is level 7. Oh, it's the classic stand there and auto him because you know you're not going to get away. Thanatos. We also saw during the picture-in-picture of the replay, Thanatos almost got solo killed by Castle up underneath his tier 1 turret. Both of the top laners did have to flash for that one. Now we could have yet another fight up here in the top side jungle. Blabber between Lions and Cry right here, but he doesn't seem to mind whatsoever. Lions trying to Spider-Man his way out of this one. And now Kryra could be the sacrifice. Blabber again with an audacious charge. Forces the flash over the wall from the Mundo. C9 still moving as a unit, trying to keep Blabber protected. Castle's coming in, wants to finish off the kill, but now Lions versus Blabber in the red side pit, while APA does DPS and a Call Me to prevent him from being able to enter into the fight. The shutdown on Sven is there as Castle picks it up. Blabber goes on a rampage, killing off the enemy jungler, but it's already a double kill back up to Castle.
Cloud9 wants to throw, I'll take it. Cloud9.
Way too over-aggressive.
Every time Castle gets involved, things are good.
This ends up being kind of a 3.5 v5 because Sajed could redeploy after dying bot lane, Emily.
Yeah, and Thanatos is unable to join the fight, right? So
I feel bad for Castle
Jace
sometimes.
is TPing in on the back half.
Man
of this.
shows up week to week, game to game. It's like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Both trying to rotate
every single game. He keeps us in every single game.
what was control warded. Now that they see him, it's kind of toast, because if they knew where Jace was, I don't think Blabber would ever chase through the red buff, and everyone would exit down through Call Me. But that
Get
was
this man some
a
help.
Very effective flank by Castle's Jace.
Yeah, it was really nicely
Good
done.
job.
By
Good job
Castle.
by
It was
everyone
kind
on
of
that
the
team. Honestly, that was a good team
other
fight.
point that DSG
I think
has
all 5 of us
potentially
ended
on
up in
this
that
map.
fight, right? That was a
And,
5v3.
You know, that flank
We had to
saves
pull a
them
lot,
bit.
but
I do
I feel
still
like-
think it's
I
going
feel like
to
we
be
got some
very
shutdowns there.
difficult for DSG as long as C9 are kind of traveling in this pack, especially Blabber with the Ashe Seraphine behind him, because even in that fight that they ended up losing and it was very over aggressive and the Jace TP ended up kind of cooking them a bit, you saw how long Blabber survived.
And you can see on your screen right there, Sajet stats, career 7-0 on Misfortune, 700 DPM average. This game, the bit of the anomaly, having to deal with the Ashe Seraphine, not having control in the lane, lost his footing early, and hasn't really been able to recover that, as now that bottom lane control for C9 leads to yet another Drake take. That is their second of this game. They've controlled both so far. Meanwhile, Call Me should at least be able to take this tier 1 turret up here in the top side. Single auto attack should knock it over.
We need to
But
target
no,
their weak
APA
spot.
arrives in time.
Looks like it's APA
And
right
somehow
now.
keeps the turret standing. Feel like Call Me probably could have taken that one if he wanted to, but all right. C9 holds it.
Yeah,
Whoop, now here, maybe this is what they wanted after all. APA gets shuffled back towards Kryra, but now the big arrow from across the map from
it's a
C9
trade, right?
guarantees the hit on the Call Me, guarantees Thanatos can make that a 1-for-1.
We're losing
Meanwhile,
on objectives,
C9's just going to
though.
take yet another neutral objective. Blabber has total control over the Herald.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're just casually also just taking Rift Herald at the same time. Really nice arrow as
Yeah,
a
well,
finisher
we need to hope Castle gets some
from,
money bot side here.
Sven to get that on to Call Me. But again, it seems like anytime DSG, like APA coming in to save the turret, right? And then DSG are like, okay, we can make a play onto this Cassio, end up doing so, but the rest of C9
Oh,
are still
top
ready to
and mid
collapse.
laners are
Also
doing
say,
well,
though,
but
if I'm
I really
dominant
don't think
arrow
we
sitting
should
in the
be
back room
relying on
watching
our.
this
I
game,
mean, yes, they
hi
are
guys,
Koreans.
first.
But
Secondly,
we
I'm
shouldn't
really
be relying
concerned
on
with
our
how things are
Koreans
going
to
based off how
like
well
hands
things
check
went
their
in the bottom lane,
opponents.
because
Like Call
Castle
Me
just
hands
picked up
checking
a full
APA.
turret.
It's
He's 2-0.
the Korean
He's
diff,
gonna have
right?
really strong poke onto their squishies, and then this.
But we
Thanatos
can't
able to
go
avoid
into
this one,
every
but
games like, hey, we need our
most
Koreans.
perplexing
Like,
thing to
we
me here is,
need
like, APA keeps
to
playing
figure out how to
so
fix our bot
aggressively.
lane.
Like, he's 1,500 gold down onto this Azir.
Like the different, like
and Call Me's letting you push him back.
it's really rough.
Aren't you a little
These
suspicious as to
games
why that might
with
be
our
happening?
bot lane, we
And
can't.
then Kryra comes in and kills him once again.
We
You
don't
see
need
all
them to
these
win.
Things is like, wow, how could this
But
Cassio,
50
who's so
CS
far
down
behind,
is
get all
really
these,
rough.
like, good trades and be
Right, we
he's
need them to
posturing
go
so much, but he's been
slightly
punished
down.
4 times at this point for the 0-4, and that's part of what's keeping this game very close.
All right, Rift Herald summoned up by C9 here in mid lane. No driver on this one. There were some shenanigans with that this past weekend here in their series against Sentinels, so they're just going to leave this one on the autopilot. It's like one of those Waymos, whatever they are, the robot driving cars
Yeah,
here in
Waymos.
LA.
Yeah.
That's a Waymo Rift Herald. It just automatically
yeah, you
just
just,
drives
like, let it
itself
go.
exactly where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. It hits the target. It's good to go. C9's going to go ahead and pick up turret number 2 there in mid. Still only 1,000 gold ahead as a team, like you're talking about, Jat. Your bottom lane has a 3K gold lead between the two of them, but now it's DSG moving into the C9 jungle, looking to make
Whoa, Vulcan
could be in
Vulcan.
some danger, hit by the dredge line.
Oh, no!
Then with the arrow onto Sajet, who has to cleanse and immediately flash back over the wall. Kryra down to 1/4 HP, and Lions has to flash out now too.
Headed backwards,
DSG
headed backwards.
falling back towards the river. Castle over the wall, trying to reinforce the lines, but DSG are scattered. Kami's about to die. He flashes away, but he still falls anyway. Castle tries to...
Please!
He only damns himself. APA takes out that
Please,
strong
we're just,
Jace, and DSG's
what are
plans
we
completely
doing?
crumble. Thanatos charging in, trying to slow down Lions, and with a backup from the Seraphine, they're going to get another. That's going to be 4 dead when it's all said and done. DSG, they thought they had it, but
What
all
happened?
they had
What
was a
happened
one-way
here?
ticket
Okay,
to the
we're looking
fountain.
at Blabber. We're
They
looking
thought
at
they had it, and I
Blabber.
really love the team fight targeting that's
Okay.
coming out of C9 into this.
JJ gets
recognizing,
hit,
okay,
cleanses
arrow onto
it,
Sajed,
gets-
he has to cleanse it, still ends
uses
up getting
every
charmed
sum,
up. Kryra
all
takes
goes
a lot of
wide.
damage, and
Okay,
even
this
though
one-
he's
this is still
surviving
fine.
as the Mundo,
And then
this ends up being able to
they get
right
pushed
onto
out by
Cody, because,
in
again,
river.
Blabber is just so strong with this Ashe
And then
Seraphine
Castle went for
behind them,
a kill on the
that
back,
then
which I
allows the
don't
rest
think
of
was
C9 to
correct.
rotate onto Castle, who's looking for another Jace flank.
Look, Mundo guys. No, guys, Mundo's inting. Mundo's inting. Okay.
Mundo's empty.
By the way, Blabber's favorite thing to do is say the other jungler is inting. You can
True.
go listen to their comms from last week. He said that all the time against Hombach. Someone is always inting on Blabber's screen. But I'll say Castle, to me, was the one inting that team fight. Because I thought it looked fine until he tried the flank. And now, you know, maybe it's Lions.
I think Lions might be inting. I think Sven is going to grab a killing spree for free on that one. And Call Me should be able to get away here. I don't really see how Vulcan could be able to catch him by himself. So, still though, 3,500 gold lead for C9. It's rough out here for Disguise. There's your arrow. Oh, no, now Call Me. I don't think you get away from that one. Call Me. He uses the ulti. He stays alive with a flash twin bang from APA. Finishes the job.
APA with a little tip-in shot on the Casio at the end. Sven's arrows in this game have been really, really nice. Really well communicated. I'm going to assume that's like not just Sven being good, but an overall team thing. But again, whenever one of these DSG players is isolated, they have to watch out for this group of Blabber with the Ashe Seraphine behind him, because he can just survive for so long and get on their priority targets.
And here we go again. Kryra's your target, and he's just going to go ahead and walk away from this one. I think the story of this game, if you couldn't tell just by looking at the individual gold leads, the kill participation, 11 out of 15 for Sven, 13 out of 15 for Vulcan, only 4 for APA. You've got 9 for Blabber, because he's been helping that bottom lane out a lot too, and then only 5 for Thanatos. So really so much from the bottom lane of C9 this game.
Yeah, play for bot, play through bot with the Scion top lane. That's exactly what's happening. But now third Drake, Soul Point. C9 first to set up, which is exactly where the Ashe Seraphine wants to be.
Okay, Disguise looking for their entry angle instead. Kryra going to lose about half HP, but the same for Blabber. Thing is, Blabber has Seraphine to keep him healed up. He's got the rest of C9 around him, so they can try to secure this, immediately move to Soul Point with it, and sure enough, they will. Castle with the Shock Blast won't get anything.
There's not a real way for DSG to walk in and start that fight, especially when you have a Glacial Augment level 8 Nautilus with 1 item. So that is your frontline engage currently. You don't have an engage, but actually C9, I think transitioning straight over to this Baron is a little bit bold, but I do like the play, especially if they're ready to turn a fight and they have decent war coverage.
Yeah, they've got 4,500 gold lead. They've got Seraphine to keep everybody healthy with shields and heals around the Baron. Kryra is going to walk up, try to make his way towards this, but it's already down to 1/3 of its health. C9 committing to the Baron for now, slowing DPS a little bit, but no, it looks like we're going to go ahead and burst it. C9 takes the Baron. Kryra's soaking some damage. Bullet time doesn't do a whole lot over the wall as the Encore flies through too. They want to try to use Castle to kill off Blabber, but DSG again don't have the damage. The Xinjiao stays alive as APA goes into killing spree. Jet under pressure yet again as Thanatos has made his way into the back line, and Decimating Smash does just that. Everybody on Disguise dies. They trade for APA, but what's it matter? It's a Baron +4 for just your mid laner. C9 will take it.
And they'll get so much more off the back of that Baron. Their mid and top waves are already pushed. They are having their cake right now and eating it too, and I think it's DSG being out of sync as well, because a lot of times when you start Baron with 5 people just like this, you're trying to get the Jace TP, but then the fact that the Baron dies and then the Jace TPs anyway into what is already a losing fight just makes things go from bad to worse for DSG.
Yeah, and I like that we ended up seeing that really nice Seraphine Scion combo off the back half of that fight, really making the most of how beefy Thanatos is, extending the range, getting those charms out. And this team comp can just now bulldoze through DSG, as if they couldn't already.
Yeah, and the Ashe having the healing reduction means that Kryra's Mundo isn't going to be getting Giant anytime soon.
No.
He would be the one person who'd maybe be able to buy time in the back line.
You know, APA was complaining about how he doesn't get free wins on the Scion. Thanatos is 6-0 on the Scion in LCS, or career actually, so yeah. He also, like, give him some of those wins, you know?
He's doing pretty good, and the point about the Mundo too, Jat, not only is it the enemy has healing reduction, you're still only level 13. Level 3 ulti is such a power spike, and your team's already dead on top of it. Castle, that fed Jace, is already down, so Jet has to flash away just to avoid dying here himself. C9 honestly can probably just try to push for the win right here. They've got the Baron-empowered minions.
I do wonder how much fun Vulcan's having. Because it's like, this is no Bard, right? But
yeah,
1017 looks pretty fun.
Yeah, he's going to be having a great time. Anyway, Lions taking a little bit more damage here, but C9 not wanting to overcommit onto the Nautilus. Blabber, going to knock up onto Call Me, forces the flash out there. Thanatos flying in from the left side. Lions flashes, barely stays alive himself as Disguised all hurt, but nobody dead here just yet, except for Castle, who's still reviving from the earlier pick. So the tier 3 turret dies in the bottom lane. Minion wave crashing into the tier 3 turret mid. Bottom lane inhibitor going to be your target now. C9 going after that one. It's a long-range TP from Call Me. This is Disguised's potential final full send, but C9 are just walking off to stage left anyway, as Disguised can't get in position to try to set up for Call Me's flank. He just ends up rejoining the rest of the team from the same angle, and the TP ultimately results in a whole lot of nothing. Blabber jumping right back into the Lions here. Third talent strike connects. There's your win becomes lightning. Call Me's next to die. The teleport didn't do a thing. Double kill for Blabber's Zen. Sajed finally falls. Kryra just barely hangs on here with the Dr. Mundo, but he's the only one left alive. The bottom inhibitor's already gone. The mid lane inhibitor's about to fall, and C9's on the victory march.
Playing with so much confidence, grouping up for the Seraphine heals to make them even more powerful. And then APA, 75% of the team's deaths just for good measure at the end, before the end of the game.
We'll see if maybe they can kill the Mundo on the steps. Teams like to pad the stats sometimes, but Mundo is a little difficult to do it on. They might still make it happen. And Vulcan, yes, indeed, he does. The Nexus will fall. C9 ran the game start to finish. It's a bot cap. C9 up 1-0.
We need to show the chat. I knew he would do this. If you die 6 times and your team dies 8 times, you have to say mid-gap, and he did. He knew the chat was on the whole time, had to get that in there before he runs off to go to the next game. C9 dominate that game 1.
Excellent, excellent stuff from C9 here in the first one. It's all about the bottom lane. I got to give my MVP for that one to Sven. What are you guys thinking, Lounge?
I'm thinking Sven. I'm thinking Sven looks pretty good right there. And also, I do love APA getting in with the all chat right at the end. Mid-gap, clear mid-gap, obviously.
Easy.
Yeah.
He's getting away with it.
But in terms of the bot lane gap, ooh, that did not live up. I was really hoping Sajed would have a better shot against Sven, and that, abort that narrative. That is not what happened.
I mean, roll the clips. I just didn't understand even draft-wise what they were thinking with the Mundo pick, because to me, if you're going to go Nautilus plus MF, the only way you're winning this 2v2 is with ganks, right? Yeah. Nautilus has really powerful gank assist. You bring down your Nocturne, you bring down your Vi, you bring down your whatever, and you gank. You spam, try to attack them and kill them. Because in the isolated 2v2, it's going to be impossible, and this is just insult to injury. I mean, Sven lived with no health.
This is a draft diff? Is that what they're saying?
And from there, they were already down 20
Not a
or
fitting
30
jungler
CS
for
plus
Nautilus?
a double kill. There's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, like Lee Sin, Trundle, Vi, literally anything in which you can play towards this lane. Because like if you're playing, I like Nautilus MF in terms of just fighting for prio. You are fighting for prio. It's going to be a strong 3v3. But if you pick up Mundo, I don't really see it happening there. And also, literally level 1. We didn't show it, but literally the moment the hook came through, Barry came through from Ashe, and then like Nautilus gets chunked. It's like, okay, well, good luck the rest of the lane.
Even just like, not even just the Mundo, but like you're going Mundo Azir, so you have this like mid jungle who is just the most do nothing mid jungle, hoping to scale forever. So they can't even play towards bot side at all, and you're an isolated losing 2v2. I just feel like their draft made absolutely no sense.
It's funny you say that about the mid jungle, because that is kind of where DSG were able to get some advantages, and it was from the Mundo going mid. We also have some plays of that, because I feel like the mid differential, APA, we joked about it, like the mid diff, he was getting caught a lot, and it was Call Me that was actually getting a lot of kills on the Azir.
Yeah, it was a wraparound gank that came through from Kryra that initially made this easier. APA thought he could maybe like trade into it and get a kill off of it. He just tried to fight through it. And I was like, okay, maybe not happening. So he made the initial mistake. He lost Flash, which made it easier for Call Me now to set up like the Azir sec plays later on. So even though the kill gets traded here, it's a really bad lane condition and now state for APA to play under.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to me, it's like I look at this and I'm like, was that more of a Mundo killed you or you killed yourself, right? Like, because APA could have easily just walked away. I don't even know that he had to flash in the first one if he just walked straight out, but he stood and he tried to go for this, kind of 1v2 outplay, and it didn't work out. And then Call Me was able to do really well in the isolated 1v1, but yeah, my problem was just kind of conceptually how is the 2v2 going to work? The isolated 2v2 seems so tough, and when they get that far behind, Call Me had some opportunities, but I didn't feel like he did well with those opportunities. Obviously, the rest of his team was all very far behind. You know, Blabber was up like 1,500 gold. The bot lane combined was up like 3,000 plus gold. So it was always going to be really, really hard. But he had the missed Emperor's Divide on Sven. He had the like solo play he went on where he was kind of sitting in that side brush.
We never had the lead at one point.
So there was a few where it was like, you know, maybe you could have done more, but it was always going to be an almost impossible game coming out.
I think like the argument for the bot lane pick, and I totally agree about the jungle like not helping out. Mundo's not going to really impact that bot lane, but Sajed was 7-0 on Misfortune. We were talking about that in his career games. Now a lot of that, of course, you know, tier 2, but still like coming in. I was hopeful that Sajed would be better in the laning phase, and then I see Misfortune Nautilus. I start getting excited, thinking this is kind of a lane dominant pick. Like maybe they can do it.
But not against Ashe Seraphine.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. Ashe's stats here ridiculous. So unsurprisingly, player of the game, as you can see. Just taking a look at it.
It's actually kind of crazier that Blabbers has done. Blabbers did almost as much damage as the Ashe.
Yeah, it is. It is insane.
I'm looking at that Sajed and Vulcan damage. That Seraphine, you know, going crazy there
Seraphine
too.
did as much damage as the MF. That is actually wild.
That is the exact same damage between the two.
Is that a unanimous vote?
No.
Who's the Jack?
C9's been. Oh.
You know what? Fair. Vulcan also was there.
Yeah,
he was.
And he was enchanting.
He was. He was.
Ashe can't do that if Seraphine's not in
He was
lane,
doing his best.
But you know what the real discussion is? Who is the better Scion? Because I don't know if you saw the APA interview. APA was talking about, oh, I'm always mad when we give Thanatos a Scion because it's just a wasted game. It's a free win that I could have had.
Yeah.
And then C9 released their comms video where Thanatos was glazing his Scion movement and APA was hyping himself up. But the Thanatos Scion was looking pretty good.
It was looking pretty good. I think you have to give it to Thanatos. I will say, Vulcan ended up winning the fan vote.
He did.
It's
also way too many APA votes. I'm just going to call it out right there for how he played that Cassiopeia. I feel like he was protesting on the Cassiopeia because he wanted the Scion.
They've ruined their credibility by giving APA votes.
Take it out of my sight. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see the fan vote after what they did in terms of 16.7%.
That's crazy. That's actually kind of crazy right there. But, you know, not to Vulcan.
We're not mad.
We're
just disappointed.
Just a little disappointed. Sven for us, Vulcan for the fans. But either way, as we head to break, let's take a look at our comms replay connected by AT&T and voted on by you and Chad.
Fighting bot. Okay, could be 2v2. I can't come.
He has heal, but I want to go beast mode.
Yeah.
I'll fight you.
Don't think Muno's there. No flash.
It's passing 2 zone. Look at MF too. We can get his cleanse. Nice.
Top boost though, TP.
Okay. I'll kill him, I think. Nice.
Oh my god.
Good shit.
Nice. What are we gonna do about crab? I guess we're giving it now.
I'm basing it on this wave.
Edition on the Rift here today. Emily, is the Telluride just the obvious pick?
Well, Flowers, we're looking at the turbo hybrid powertrain. That's already a problem for the rest of the Rift.
And a 30-inch panoramic display too? That is unfair control.
Guys, all-wheel drive with terrain mode? No shot anyone's catching this.
Yeah, this seems completely OP.
No debate. This first pick, we have to lock it in. Now!
The Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid. Pick it before your opponents do.